Hey, Boss Attorney Bree here. Hey, how is everyone doing today? I hope everyone's doing really well. I am going to be talking about the Cardi B case and also an update in the Dana Chanel case. So, if you have seen my past video about Dana Chanel and the fact that she got sued by the Attorney General of Pennsylvania for violating consumer protection laws, we are going to be going over that at the end of this stream. So, if you are interested in that case, make sure to stick around. But we're going to get right into the Tasha K and Cardi B case today. If you have been following the case, you know that the jury has awarded Cardi B some money damages for the lies that Tasha K was proven to have spread about her. If you have not been following the case, basically what happened is that Cardi B sued a YouTuber named Tasha K for spreading defamatory lies about her. In specifics, she said that she had the STD of herpes and that she possibly may have passed it on to her daughter. And then she also claimed that Cardi B was an actual prostitute. So Cardi B said none of that stuff is true, and she went ahead and sued her for defamation. And basically, defamation is just spreading false lies about someone. And Cardi B was actually able to prove that Tasha K did that to her. So we're going to kind of go over everything that happened in that, or not everything that happened in the case, but we're going to talk about what happened in that case. If you are new to my channel, please go ahead and say hello in the chat box. Let me know where you're from. This is one of my first real live streams. I've done a couple in the past, but I'm trying to get back into it. So thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Like I said, let me know where you're from. And we're going to get right into what happened. So, like I said, Cardi B won the lawsuit, which means that she won money. And as you can see in the title, it's somewhere around $4 million. So I am just going to share my screen to give you guys a breakdown of what was actually awarded and then kind of break down what each of them were for. So just give me a moment while I share my screen here, figure that out. Watching from Los Angeles. Okay, welcome, Jasmar. I am in Sacramento area, so we're both in California. We're on the same time zone here, and I'm just trying to figure out how to share my screen. Okay. Okay. And it is not popping up here, so let me see. I can bring this up. Here we go. Finally popped up. So we're going to share this window and we're going to go. Okay, let's kind of go over what she actually won on because she was sued for several reasons. And I don't know why I can't see myself here. Okay. So she was sued for several reasons, including these things here on the screen. I'm sorry, y'all. This is not working for me right now. And let's try this again. Stop sharing. Go back to sharing. Oh, because it is not a full document. That's why. So now let's try to share it from StreamYard. All right. So I think you guys should be able to see the full thing now. Okay, yeah, you can see the full thing now. All right. So she was sued for defamation, which includes both libel and slander. Libel is basically written lies that she was spreading about Cardi B. So she was writing stuff, maybe in the descriptions within her YouTube channel, or maybe she was writing things in blog posts. I don't know exactly where they're getting the basis for libel. And then slander is basically spoken defamation against Cardi B. And she was found liable for both of these under this lawsuit. She also was found liable for invasion of privacy. So she basically was telling information that Cardi B didn't necessarily want spread about her, that Cardi B believes that she should have been able to tell the public. And so we're going to break down what she actually owes to Cardi B. And so as you can see, the grand total is $4,113,753. So over $4 million. I know that Tasha K is a YouTuber, but I'm not sure if she's quite making that much money, okay? So the first thing that she was awarded was $1,250,000, and that was for the damages for the defamation or any of the causes of actions that were brought against her. So that would include that slander we were just talking about, the libel we were talking about, and also the invasion of privacy. And basically, the jury found that she is entitled to $1,250,000 for those lies that Tasha K spread about her. Then we go on down to the medical expenses, which was $25,000. And from my understanding, Cardi B did submit a bill for like some therapy that she did, also to go and take the test to prove that she did not have the STD that Tasha K was saying that she had. And it ended up being about a $10,000 bill. It actually came out that the jury awarded her $250,000 initially, but the judge sent them back to deliberate because the judge knew that an appellate court, if it were to be challenged by Tasha K, he knew that an appellate court would say, hey, this is excessive. She only spent $10,000. Why are you guys awarding her $250,000? So they went back and they came back with $25,000. It's $15,000 more than what she actually spent. But it's very possible, since Cardi B was saying that she actually felt some depression and she was feeling very bad about herself, she had to go to therapy. It's very likely that Cardi B will still need to seek therapy because all of these lies were told about her. And now there's all these articles out there about her and having herpes and having prostitution and all of those things. And all of those things are out there about her. And those just don't get erased from the internet just because she won it. She also felt some guilt about her daughter because Tasha K also said that her diseases might affect the ability for the daughter to be able to learn, and maybe that it will cause some mental disturbances in the daughter. So she may still need to go and get medical help, but the court found that $250,000 was too much, but he said that $25,000 is okay. And so then we move on next to attorney's fees. And these are the attorney's fees for Cardi B's attorney. So since Tasha K lost the lawsuit and Cardi B had to spend $1 million to defend herself against these lies, Tasha K is now responsible for paying that $1,338,000 that is owed to Cardi B's attorneys, plus whatever money she actually owes to her attorney if it's not included in that amount. And from my understanding, her attorney, Tasha B's attorney, Olga, her expenses are not included in those, but we'll find out a little later if it actually is. But from my understanding for right now, it's not included in there. Next, we move on to punitive damages. So the jury awarded Cardi B $1,500,000 on top of the $1,250,000 or $1 million for the damages for the defamation. So she won, and so that $1,250,000, that was just for Tasha B violating the actual laws. And then you move on to the $1,500,000, and that $500,000, and that is for her being punished for violating those laws. So basically, the jury felt that Tasha B was so basically rude and had so much disregard for Cardi B that they believe that she should pay another $1,500,000 to Cardi B to be punished for what she did to her and to hopefully dissuade her from doing it again. And I see some people in the chat. We have Gail. Hi, Gail. Thank you for coming over from the lead attorney. I really appreciate the support. And then we have, she's going to be paying Cardi B forever. I do agree that Tasha K is going to be paying Cardi B for a very, very long time. And I actually do want to go into that. And because Tasha K actually has a LLC, and the LLC and Tasha K were actually named as defendants in this lawsuit. So a lot of people, a lot of business owners, I work with a lot of business owners in my law firm since I'm a business and trademark attorney. And a lot of people get LLCs because they believe that it is going to absolve them of any liability that their company might get in trouble for. And that is what an LLC is meant to do, but it does not always apply. So what happens is that if you have an LLC, it's supposed to limit your liability, but it does not limit your liability if you are acting beyond the scope of the LLC. The fact that Tasha K was intentionally lying on Cardi B, admitting that she knew what she was saying was false, and all of that, that is kind of proven that she's making intentional acts outside of the LLC, and she should not be protected by the LLC just because she has an LLC that's supposed to limit her liability. So since both Tasha K and her LLC is liable for the actions that Tasha K did on her YouTube channel, being that she has 1 million subscribers, I don't know how much she gets paid. Let's say her LLC, let's say she's running her YouTube channel under her LLC, and her LLC currently has $1 million in her bank account. So she pays that $1 million to Cardi B to cover these costs for the action, right? So now her business will likely become bankrupt because they no longer have any more money to operate. And that will become an even bigger problem if it does come out that her channel gets canceled for defaming Cardi B. So she might want to look out for that, and hopefully these punishment damages will prevent her from making these lies about other people in the future for sure. But if her channel gets taken down, I'm not sure how she's going to be able to pay Cardi B. If you guys have any ideas about how she could possibly pay Cardi B with her channel being taken down, go ahead and make it a comment in the chat. If you think that she's not going to get her channel taken down, go ahead and make a comment in the chat. Let me know what you guys think there. So let's say her channel does get taken down and now her LLC is bankrupt. This means now she is personally liable to pay the damages on this as well. So that means whatever house she has, whatever car she has, any type of assets that she has can be liable to pay this money to Cardi B. And if she's not able to still make the whole payment, then herself personally may become bankrupt. And I don't know if you guys kept up with the trial. I know some people are from the lead attorney, so you did keep up with the trial. And she basically called her own husband a liar. And it could come out, if they're filing taxes jointly, that her actions is going to bankrupt both of them. So it could definitely become an issue for her with having the whole LLC liable and then also having herself personally liable under this lawsuit. Go ahead and comment if you guys think that she should have been held personally liable. In my opinion, I do agree that they named her as a defendant in the lawsuit, and maybe she has way more responsibility than the actual LLC. But we also have to take into account that the LLC is going to be who can actually pay the money. So her personally, we don't know how much she keeps in her bank account, but her LLC should be the thing generating business. And I think she does have some other side businesses, but I'm not too quite sure. So I'm not going to be trying to quote myself on that. But if that YouTube channel gets taken down and she gets demonetized, or maybe she doesn't get taken down and she only gets demonetized, she's going to have a very hard time paying Cardi B back for the rest of her life, like Jasmine said. And so we have another comment. I didn't even think about the fact that her channel could be removed. Yikes. I hope she's still good at whatever she used to do before YouTube. And I really have no clue what she used to do before YouTube. And I honestly did not know about her until it came out that her case with Cardi B has gone to trial. So I hope she's still good at it too. I think when watching the lead attorney, someone said that she sells like products for like your skincare or something of that nature. So hopefully that business is not under her LLC and she can keep selling those things. Hopefully her 1 million subscribers will support her in helping pay off that money. I also saw, because I watched the lead attorney yesterday, someone commented that maybe if one each of her 1 million subscribers gave her about $4, then she would be able to pay off the case. But as we know on YouTube, your subscribers are not always fully active. So I don't know if she can get a million, but maybe she can have 500,000 donate $10 and then she can pay Cardi B off. I really don't think that I know she did it for the money, which she admitted it was making her money, and it was making her money at that time. But do you guys think that it was worth her starting a feud with a celebrity of Cardi B's caliber? And then now she owes $4 million. Like I said, I don't know how much Tasha K makes, but I don't think she just has $4 million sitting around. Um, I have no idea how much she makes, but hopefully she does have something in the bank to kind of start paying Cardi B. And I really think it's just kind of embarrassing to be in a feud with someone as big as Cardi B. She didn't go after Beyonce because that probably would have ended up being a lot more money. But I don't know. What do you guys think? All right, we have Jasmine. Thank you for commenting in the chat. Like I said, I don't know if any of you were in here when I first started. This is like one of my first streams where I'm talking about something of this caliber. So thank you for supporting. I definitely appreciate it. If she is being held personally responsible as well, would her other businesses be protected? It would depend on if she has it as a separate business. So just because she's the owner of those businesses doesn't necessarily mean that those businesses will be liable. She might have to sell a portion of her business in order to pay for that. But her being the owner is basically taking her out of the liability for that. She could, like I said, sell some of her ownership in the company in order to pay it off, and we'll see if they would go that deep to try to get her to pay the money. But usually a separate LLC would not be liable. So basically, if she had an LLC for her YouTube channel, but then she also had a LLC for whatever that skincare product she was selling, the skincare product wouldn't normally be connected to the YouTube LLC because they're doing two completely different things. But if they could somehow tie it together, like she was selling her merchandise through her YouTube channel, and that she pierced the corporate veil also in that LLC, then it's possible that they may make her sell that business also to pay off her debt. But I agree with you. I think that she is going to probably be paying this off for the rest of her life. And I don't have a calculator in front of me. I guess I can pull it up on my computer here and see what that would be. Because most people don't even make $1 million in their entire life. So let's say $4 million divided by, let's give her 30 years. She will be paying $133,333 a year. So that's a lot of people's six-figure incomes when people make it into the six-figure mark. So she'll be paying a lot of money for the rest of her life. And if her YouTube channel is not able to help her make money, then I have no idea what she is going to do in order to pay this off. I do think that Cardi B should be really happy because she was able to prove that she does not have these diseases, prove that she was not a prostitute, and kind of make her money. And I know some people are over from the lead attorney and he was talking about Olga a lot, and Olga is Tasha K's attorney, and how she also still needs to be paid in this event, and that she wasn't necessarily a defamation attorney, and maybe she could have helped Tasha K win the case if she was actually a defamation attorney. It makes no sense that she would take the case, maybe because it was high profile, people would know her name because she helped out someone that was in litigation with Cardi B, a super popular celebrity. But I honestly think that her participation actually hurt her reputation because she took on a case that she was not competent to handle, and she lost the case. It would have been different if she actually won the case. It might build her reputation, but the fact that she lost the case, I don't think that really helped her. So let me know what you guys think about what should happen to Tasha K's attorney, possibly if she's going to get any discipline from the state bar, or if Tasha K is going to sue her for ineffective counsel. I don't know if it would even be beneficial for her to do that because Tasha K lied on the stand and then admitted that she was lying on the stand. So you can't really blame her attorney. And the fact that her attorney gave such a short closing argument, I think someone said it was about a minute that went to the trial. She probably just knew that the case was over and that Tasha K was going to lose anyway. So what's the point of wasting her breath and trying to explain to the jury why Tasha K should not be paying Cardi B money? And heck, we don't know. Maybe she felt that Tasha K should be paying Cardi B $4 million. I don't know. But as her attorney, that's supposed to be her zealous advocate, she did not do a good job in making sure that Tasha K was not paying $4 million that she probably doesn't have, and that she's going to need to make up for the rest of her life. Or she also was saying that she had some agency watching her. So maybe the agency is going to pay the $4 million bill. But then again, I don't know any agencies that's making that much money to want to indemnify, which means to pay on behalf of someone else $4 million. Like, it was cute that they thought, she was going to win or she was going to get some type of clout, but was the clout really worth $4 million? I know I don't have $4 million, so I'm wondering if this agency has $4 million. And Jasmine said, "Woo, that's worse than the average mortgage." Yes, definitely. And Jasmine, you say you're in California and you're in Los Angeles, so the houses might be $4 million there. I was watching Selling Sunset, and they are even smaller houses. Well, I'm saying smaller because I'm in Northern California, and like a 2,000 square foot house is probably right now around 400 up into the 600,000s, just depending on what amenities that they have. So the mortgages here are, of course, way lower, but in LA, she probably is making mortgage payments for an LA home in the Valley. Not in Beverly Hills though, because those are going to be even more than $4 million. So hopefully she has the money and she can make the payments. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to comment in the chat box so that I can cover them. I kind of already went over this little breakdown of what she actually owes. $4 million. It's a lot of money. And so if any of you jumped in here kind of late, please feel free to go ahead and leave a comment or a question that I might have covered. I am going to actually talk about another case in a few minutes if we're kind of done with this, if you guys don't really have any opinions on what happened in this case. And so let me know if you guys heard about the Dana Chanel case. I covered it on my channel a couple of weeks ago. She was sued for basically scamming her Instagram followers. So I do want to get into her response that she gave to the court, because she has responded in the case. And it's basically like a whole family affair that they were all sued together. So yeah, Tasha K, I am sorry to you, but you have lost your lawsuit against Cardi B. And I'm wondering if she really thought she was gonna win. And so with those things, basically what the end of the case is that Cardi B was able to prove that Tasha K was lying and that she basically spread false statements about Cardi B, and it was spread to a third party, which she spread it to the entire internet. So of course she spread it to a third party or several third parties, and that it damaged Cardi B's reputation. And the jury found that her reputation was damaged. I think Cardi B said that she lost out on some roles because people didn't want to interact with her because they thought she had herpes. They didn't want to kiss her in the scene or whatever because they thought they might get it. And the damage is kind of shown by the amount that the jury actually awarded Cardi B. The amount that the jury actually awarded Cardi B shows that she was damaged. They think that she was damaged by $1 million. Maybe Cardi B would have made $1 million if she did those roles, or maybe she would have made more than $1 million if she did those roles. So yeah, let's go on to, I have a couple of chats to go through. As Jasmine says, she's here for the scammer update too. Let me know if you guys know about Dana Chanel, because I didn't really know about her until I knew about her husband. And then when she got sued, I was like, oh, dang, I thought they were all kind of, good people trying to help business people out. And it turns out that they're actually scamming their followers, and they have a lot of followers. I think at the time that the lawsuit was filed, she had over 700,000 followers. For someone that's not a celebrity, that's a lot. She's an influencer for sure. So is this the first YouTuber to be sued like this by a celebrity? I honestly am not quite sure. It's definitely one of, I think it might be, if someone else was sued, then they probably settled outside of court. But if it's not the first one, they definitely probably didn't. It wasn't this big of a case for them to, because I haven't heard about it. And a lot of people, when they saw this case, they said it's going to change the landscape for YouTubers, which I agree, because you can't just be out here saying whatever you want about people on a camera just because you have an audience. If it's false, you can't say it. Now, if it's true, that is something that you can say. And this defamation case is not even just good for YouTubers or just like significant to YouTubers. It's significant in law in general because it's very hard to prove defamation of a public figure. Public figures have to show malice when showing that someone defamed them, which means like they had ill intent, they were trying to harm their reputation. But I think that Cardi B ended up doing libel per se, which just means that you don't have to prove the malice, or you don't have to prove that it actually damaged you. And so proving defamation for a celebrity or a public figure is very, very hard to prove. And the fact that Tasha K lost on this case, like that's super significant in the world of defamation. I'm sure people are going to be citing this case for a minute. So I am going to, I think that was all the questions that were on this case. Cardi B won against Tasha K. Tasha K has to pay $4 million, $4.1 million to Cardi B, a celebrity who probably has $4 million. But that's her fault. She shouldn't have she shouldn't have done that. All right, so let me go ahead and share the complaint of the Dana Chanel. Or you know what? I'm not going to share it quite yet. So, like I said, for those of you who do not know who Dana Chanel is, she is basically a Instagram influencer. She has about over 700,000 followers on Instagram, and she has several businesses where she targets to help Black businesses or small Black businesses grow and become super profitable. She had a couple of businesses, and so it's not only to help businesses, but also to help other Black people. So one of her most famous business was the Credit Exterminator, which was also sued in this lawsuit, where they were basically helping Black people, or they were supposed to be helping Black people clear their credit score, like help them build their credit score back up or get things removed from their credit score. Her husband owns a tax preparation company that you can actually franchise. If you want to do taxes, you can use his name, the Jumpin' Jacks Tax, I believe it's called, and you pay them $5,000 to use that name, plus a commission on every tax. What is it called? Tax document, whatever the tax form. Yeah, a commission on every tax form that you actually file. You would pay them a commission for that, on top of the $5,000 that you already paid them just to use the name. They also have a thing called Alakazam Apps, which was meant to help small Black businesses build apps for their business. So they would pay, I think it ran around $2,000. You would pay that to them, and this company, Alakazam Apps, was supposed to build the app for them. And Dana Chanel was one of the owners, or said that she was one of the owners for the app that helps build apps. And then the other one is the one that is the most famous, I think, or the first business that she started was A Sprinkle of Jesus, where it was an app that sends you motivational and quotes and Bible quotes every day, and just kind of motivated people. And so that business is not under scrutiny for this particular lawsuit, but it is one of those apps that did make her following kind of grow. And she also has a business called the Curl Bible. So she is out there doing the entrepreneur thing, and she is now being sued because she wasn't really meeting the requirements of what she was supposed to be doing. So I am going to share my screen, and I had a little bit of difficulty with it earlier. So let's hope that this one works a little better, and see if I can actually get it on there without messing it up this time. So thank you for your patience. I'm going to bring up the complaint first so we can talk about that. And y'all, this is my first time really using StreamYard like this, so please bear with me. We have Alpha Berry saying, will this harm her business? For those of you watching, this is my boyfriend supporting my first live stream, so thank you for coming. You got to let me know what you mean. Will it harm whose business? Dana Chanel's, or are you talking about Tasha K still? So, yeah, we will wait for you to comment again. All right, so let's talk about Dana Chanel's lawsuit that she has going on. And so this one was really big, maybe a month or two ago, because the actual Attorney General of Pennsylvania filed this lawsuit against her. So it's not even the actual customers filing this against her. This is the state filing this lawsuit against her. So you know that they have gotten so many complaints about her that they felt it was necessary to actually have the state file a lawsuit against her for scamming. And I've gotten so many comments talking about, oh, how do we really know that she was scamming? How do we know that she didn't do it? Da, 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 da. But if the state got so many complaints that they decided that they are going to file a lawsuit against you for violating consumer protection laws, then you probably have scammed a few people, or you didn't do what you were supposed to do to at least a few people. And so Alpha says, Dana, so yeah, this is going to hurt her business because it's already hurting her business. There were a bunch of people already talking about it, and there's so many people coming forward saying that she scammed them. And on top of that, if she loses this case, then she's going to have to pay a restitution to all these people that she scammed. So if you were scammed by Dana Chanel, I have a link, and I'll probably attach it to this video a little later, but I have a link in my previous pre-recorded Dana Chanel video that I did in November, December. It has a link where you can actually file your complaint with the state if you were actually scammed by her as well. So let me jump into the complaint here, and let's talk about it. So as you can see, the whole Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is suing Dana Chanel. And like I said, they're suing this credit exterminators company. And this is the same company. The Earn Finance company is the same. They just changed their name. So they just went ahead and named both of them there. They're also suing the Alakazam apps. So with the credit company, what happened is that people paid them to fix their credit, and then months will go by and they would not respond to them. They would not fix the credit. They didn't send any letters to the credit bureaus to fix the credit. So this is why they ended up being sued because people are saying, hey, we paid you thousands of dollars and you have not done anything to fix my credit. Also, typos in letters that they did actually send out, and they just did a really bad job with it. And then we have Alakazam apps, like I said earlier. This was to actually build apps for businesses. So you would pay them money, generally falling about $2,000, then plus I think 100 and something extra dollars, which is all listed in this complaint as well. Extra $100 every month until the project was finished. And these people, you are supposed to tell them what you wanted in your app, and then they will design the app for you. You can make tweaks to it, and then you would have the app. But then they stopped giving people their apps, or they just never developed their apps, or they developed a very bad version of their apps. So people were like upset about that because I spent $2,000 plus 100 and something dollars a month that's automatically charged, and you're not even doing any work. Same thing with the exterminators. I think you did a down payment. They did a down payment, and then they would pay every month until they were off of the program, basically. Okay, and then so we have Dana Chanel listed as a defendant as well. Her real name is Casey, but as you can see, they're doing AKA Dana Chanel because that is her social media name. And then they actually also attached her father, which is the Nakia Rattray, is her father, as a managing member of the Alakazam apps, basically saying not only are you scamming, but so is your dad. And they also named her sister Cassandra April Oliveira, also saying that she is a managing member of Earn Finance. And basically, just like with the Tasha K situation, the reason why they're named individually is because the Attorney General is saying that they were acting outside of their scope or outside of the protection of their LLCs. As you can see, they have LLCs, Credit Exterminator LLC, Earn Finance LLC, Alakazam LLC. They're naming these people individually because they're saying they're acting outside of the scope of their LLC. That for that reason, they should not be shielded by the corporate veil of having an LLC. Their liability should not be limited. So if these companies cannot pay to pay everyone back for the scams that they did, or for the bad, let's not call it a scam, for the bad things that they did to their consumers, then they will personally be liable, which can result into their nice fancy houses and cars and all of those things also being taken away. It kind of took a while for them to respond because they actually filed a what is it called that they filed? Basically, they filed some objections to some of the stuff that was alleged in the complaint, so that gave them a little bit more time to respond to the complaint. So this was filed in November. They filed an objection in December, and then they also filed, I believe they filed their answer sometime in January, just recently. So this is pretty new. Okay, and so basically, this is just the full complaint. It gives everything that you need to give, like that the venue, who each of the owners are, and everything. So I'm just going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. They gave some details of what I kind of already summarized for you guys, what people are claiming that they did. Basically, that they paid them money and they did not deliver on the services that they promised. And so I'm going to go down to the causes of actions to show you guys what they're actually alleging against Dana Chanel and her companies and her brother and her sister. Okay, so the first count that they are trying to get compensated for is a violation of the consumer protection laws. And under this, they are saying that Dana Chanel and her family and her companies misled consumers as to the nature and quality of the goods and services they were provided, or they failed to provide the actual goods and services that they purchased, which is basically what they're alleging, is that, hey, we paid them money, they did not give us what they said they would give us, or we paid money and they gave us a crappy product, is basically what that one is saying. And then they give how what they did applied to the actual facts of what happened. So like I said, a bunch of people complained to the actual state consumer protection. I can't even think of the government entity right now. They complained to the state that this was happening to them. And so they're using all of those complaints to help prove their point under this. And so let's go to the second violation. Again, a violation of the consumer protection laws, saying that the defendants sold credit repair services to consumers in violation of the Credit Services Act. So basically, they were fixing credit without permission for doing that, without having the proper license to do that. So they have to be in accordance with the laws of their state in order to do credit repair. So for those of you out there that are doing credit repair in your state, you also need to make sure that you're following the actual rules that applies with it, like having the FDIC requirements, any statute, and it's going to vary by your state what you're supposed to be doing, but generally it will probably be similar to other states. So they were just kind of doing whatever they wanted, and they probably were not even licensed to do that. But this is just me making a guess because I'm not going to read the whole thing while we're on live. But yeah, so they're saying that they basically did not have what they needed to have. And I'm going to pop back over because I've been away from StreamYard, so I don't know if you guys are saying anything. Okay, yeah, we do have something. We have Jasmine saying that not scamming being a family affair. Yes, it is a family affair. So they're all on the hook. And what I thought was interesting when we get over to the answer about this thing is that they all hired the same attorney, and you're not supposed to do that. So hopefully they're not just trying to save Dana's butt. They're actually trying to save all of their butts, because you're supposed to get different attorneys when there are conflicts of interest. So hopefully they don't have a super big issue with their attorneys being biased. And I'm trying to pop back over to the complaint here so I can actually see it tiny on my screen. All right. And so they misled consumers concerning the nature and value of the products or the services. Like I said earlier, they said, hey, I'm going to give you this Alakazam app, and it's going to be the best thing, and it's going to help build your business. And then when they got it, it was crappy. It didn't work, or it wasn't even the design that they asked for. And when they went back to get it redone, they were basically like, either one of the things that they said is that they just were not answering the phone. They wouldn't answer the phone. They wouldn't answer any emails, and they just didn't give these people their app. So I don't understand why you would think that you wouldn't get sued for this. And then we have they failed to deliver the services a good promise. And again, that's just that. I paid this money and you just didn't give it to me. You didn't even just give me the crappy thing. You gave some people crappy things, and for some people, you just didn't deliver anything at all. And so let me just see what else they have on here. Failed to register their fictitious business name. That basically just means they were just doing some very bad stuff in business. That basically means that when they formed their business, they did not inform their county or their state, depending on the rules in Pennsylvania, that they are operating under a different name. So if you start a business, but your LLC name is different than the name that you're actually using, then you need to file a statement with your county, your city, or your state, depending on the rules of your state, that you're using that name. So for example, I'm going to use myself for example. My name is Brianna Phillips. Let's say I'm a sole proprietorship and I'm operating my YouTube channel as a sole proprietorship under a DBA. I will need to file that with the actual, in my state, it's with the county that I'm in, which I'm Brianna Phillips, DBA, Boss Attorney Brick. I would have to let the state know that this is saying that they did that. They had a company or they used their own name and they were operating under a different name, and they just never told the state about it, or whoever they needed to tell in their state, depending on the state, the rules in their state. So they're basically, I don't know who their attorney is, but they need to kind of get their corporate stuff in order. So guys, if you have a business, make sure that you are consulting with an attorney and making sure that you're complying with all your state's rules. That way, if you do get sued, they will not pierce the corporate veil on you and hold you personally liable. Actually act as your LLC, keep your corporate records, and have all of your ducks in a row, because this is kind of embarrassing. And then so here you would just see the exhibits that they attached. So not only did they allege that they did all of these things, they actually brought proof and let you know, like, hey, this is really what they were showing. So this is the credit repair that they say. You have a do-it-yourself plan where they will provide you with all the templates, and you can go get your credit repaired yourself. Or you can do the VIP plan where you pay them and they're supposed to do it for you. they were not doing it for people, even though they were paying the full amount for it. And that's just a screenshot of their website. We have some, I think this is the email. Yeah, this might be an email of what the credit repair. Oh no, it's the contract. The contract of what the credit repair was supposed to do. Which another thing that the attorney general pointed out is that they basically said that they're not liable if they don't do anything, which you cannot do that in a contract. So guys, make sure you're reading your actual contracts when you get it. This one here is for the Alakazam apps, just showing her ads, showing that she was promoting this to her consumers. It's crazy. Like I don't really know what she was thinking or what they were thinking. And the crazy thing is that her husband's company was not sued. So the Jumpin' Jacks tax is still out there, but there has been some complaints about them as well. So that's going to be interesting if he ends up getting sued separately. Right now, they're kind of acting like the Ace family. If you guys don't know who they are YouTubers turned Instagram turned TikTok family, people that blew up and they use their family to make money on the internet using their kids. And they have about 12 to 13 lawsuits going on right now for basically not paying their bills. And some companies are just under the wife's name, and then some companies are just under the husband's name. So in this complaint, the husband is not listed, but he could very well be listed in his own um, lawsuit because people are complaining about his business model as well. You pay me $5,000 to use my name, and then on top of that, you have to pay me for each tax return, and then on top of that, the product or the instructions that you're giving to me is not good. So I wouldn't be surprised if he also gets sued, which would make it an even bigger family affair. And then this here is just a bill proving that someone paid for the Alakazam apps and that they were charged. And also, some of the stuff that they put in here is just basically like, we're going to keep charging your card and other illegal things that you cannot put into contracts. So we have that going on there. And we have a couple of people popped up, and thank you again for commenting and supporting. I definitely appreciate it. All right, so we have Alpha saying, "Oh wow, did not know that you need to be licensed to repair credit." I think it depends on what state you are in, and it might not necessarily have been that they needed to be licensed. I didn't read that all the way, honestly. But they do have to comply with certain statutes within the state, which means that they would have to register with certain entities, um, whether it be your state or your county. And I can go back and look at those and then talk to you guys about it in a different stream of what they were actually required to do credit repair. But anytime you're dealing with people and their social security numbers and their money, then you're going to need some type of either certification or to make sure that you're in compliance with the actual statutes for that type of business that you're running. And then we have Jasmine. Wow, you just taught me something because I for sure just rebranded my business at the end of the year last year, and the new name does not match my exact LLC. Yes. So if you are still using that LLC, then you're going to want to file a DBA. And you say you were in California, so it should be with your county. Um, I would just check like the business section of your county and your city, and it will let you know who you need to file with. But I know for this area of California, you need to file with your county. And basically, what you do is just say what your LLC name is, and then you're gonna say, "I'm doing business as whatever name you're doing." And you will have to like publish it in a newspaper for a couple of weeks, and you have to pay the newspaper to publish it, and then send that back to the county or city, and then your DBA will be into effect. I believe it usually runs about 5 years. Well, at least I know mine runs for 5 years. So it would just depend on your area to know exactly how long your DBA will last. So, yep, running a business is let's see how much money we can make this person spend. Not really though. I think businesses are good to have, especially if you're doing it right. So, yeah, if you have business questions, my channel is mostly about business and trademarks and making sure your business is legal and legit. And then I also do these commentaries on influencers and celebrities to kind of let people know, hey, this is what they're doing wrong. Make sure you're not doing that in your business. And then also just for entertainment purposes, because some people just like celebrity gossip and to see how they're messing up their celebrity-ness. And it's very easy for celebrities to go broke because they do things like this. And I think the influencer space is so new that a lot of influencers are going to also be doing the same thing that celebrities are doing as far as getting their business all messed up and then losing money, i.e., Tasha K, i.e., the Ace family, i.e., Dana Chanel and her dad and her sister. I don't know what they thought this was about to be, but it's not given what they thought it was. All right. So I'm going over to the answer because, like I said, they did go ahead and respond. I don't know if this is working. Okay, yeah, it is working. All righty. So this is the answer for Dana Chanel. Let me scroll back up to the top. And this is their attorney that is working for all of them. And it's a civil action for equity, which is basically meaning that they are asking for these people to pay them back, to pay back the consumers in restitution. So again, if you invested in one of their companies, Credit Examiners, Earn Finance Company, Alakazam, any of those companies, and you didn't get what you were supposed to get, you can actually file a complaint with the state as well. And that way, when they are, if they are found liable and they have to pay people back, you will get some of your money back, if not all of your money back. So just make sure to file that if you interacted with this company. Don't do it if you never spent money with them. But if you interacted with these companies, then you can. And so basically what happens in an answer is you're responding to the complaint. So all of those allegations that they just made that, hey, people, we didn't deliver our services, we didn't, or we gave bad services and products, you just respond to that here. And most of the time, people will do a general denial and say they don't have enough facts or anything to respond, or they will say that it's not true to their knowledge. And this one, they actually responded to each one. So there are just kind of a lot of paragraphs, and I think that might have been why they went ahead and filed the objection so that they can have more time to respond to all of this. They're not really giving their account of facts that happened because the plaintiff has to prove a prima facie case that they actually violated these laws. The defendants are able just to kind of deny or say, as you can see here, it's conclusory. It's not facts. They're making assumptions and things like that. So that's basically what they put in here. And so they're just denying all the facts. They're going to deny the causes of action. So they're going to say that they did deliver, or that they did deliver, that this one here says admit in part, deny in part. It is admitted that plaintiff has identified 4 named parties. So they know of the people that actually filed these violations. And then they said that they want to basically address the rest of it in trial. And so I think this goes along to what a lot of people are saying on the internet, honestly, is like, how do we know that they're liable? They didn't really do anything wrong or anything of that nature. But I think that the Attorney General's office supplied a lot of evidence, and they will have their chance to prove it in trial, because it looks like Dana Chanel is not settling on this because she is saying that they are not actually liable. So it would definitely be interesting to find out if she's going to end up paying some type of award like Tasha K, because this is not just speculation, or not speculation, but the jury's opinion. The Attorney General is going to have an ability to base the amount of damages that will be awarded to the people that were scammed by Dana Chanel. They will be able to base that off of all of the complaints that they actually received from those customers. So, and then any other violations that might come, like fines for violating whatever statutes that they violated. So it won't only be the jury thinks that they should have to pay one person $4 million. It's going to be the jury thinks that they should have to pay 500 people $2,000 or something of that nature, just depending on how many people that they actually scammed in the time frame. So they it, it's going to be interesting. And so they haven't really asked for a certain amount yet. I think they're going to do a lot of the accounting. Dana Chanel is probably going to have to supply them, or not Dana Chanel, her attorneys are going to have to supply them with financial records. They're going to have to supply them with proof that the services and the products were actually delivered to the people that ordered them. They're going to have to supply them with the fact that they basically have to show that they actually complied with the things that the attorney general is alleging. So I did comply with the credit, the requirements for the credit repair, which I don't think that they're going to be able to do. So let me just go into the answer and see. And I didn't have time to look at it all the way today because I had some meetings this morning. But I do want to see what they say about the violation of the credit repair. Okay. I need to go back to the complaint actually because they're just denying everything. And so they're not going to say that they complied with. They're just asking for more time to be able to respond to it to show that they were not in violation of the consumer protection laws. So I can just go back over to the complaint and see what do you call it? What the attorney general actually wants them to show. So let's go back to the complaint. And let me know if you guys have ever experienced these influencers because they were everywhere at some point. And a lot of people followed them and a lot of people supported them because they were specifically targeting the Black community, and they were also using, let me stop saying they. The main person in this is Dana Chanel. She was targeting the Black community, and she was also using religion to justify how trustworthy she was. Like I said, she had that app called Sprinkle of Jesus, which, as you can see in this complaint and the answer, that company is not listed in this complaint. It's not saying that she violated anybody by using the Sprinkle of Jesus app, which sends motivational quotes and Bible verses to the customers. And it's also not saying that she violated consumer protection laws as in relation to her Curl Bible, which is like hair products. So it's just the credit repair and the apps that they targeted Black businesses and Black people that are basically on hard times. Because if you're fixing your credit, you probably went through some hard times and you need to be able to fix that credit, and you probably don't really have the money to be paying somebody $3,000 to fix your credit just for them not to fix your credit. So they targeted the Black community, said we're here for you, we're helping you, and then they took their money and then they actually did not deliver what they actually promised that they would be delivering to them. So I'm just trying to go back up to the credit repair. And I do not talk this long because I am a solo attorney and I work by myself. So I never have to talk this long. So this is new for me, for sure. But I definitely thank everyone that is watching the live. I really appreciate the support. It is encouraging me to continue to do it. All right. So they're basically saying they engage in commerce with credit repair. Okay, so they basically are saying that they did not comply with the Credit Services Act, which the Credit Services Act prohibits credit service organizations from charging or receiving any money or other valuable consideration prior to full and complete performance of services the credit services organization has agreed to perform for or on behalf of the consumers unless the credit service organization has posted a surety bond or established a trust account at the bank that is FDIC insured. So this could possibly, this is under the Pennsylvania statutes, yes, but it could possibly apply to other states. So if you guys are getting your credit repaired by someone that's just kind of popped up on Instagram and said, hey, I'm a credit repair specialist, you guys need to be making sure that they actually have the bonds, the surety of bonds, which basically means, and or a trust account, which basically means that if they're unable to fix your credit, they have to give you the money back. I have a trust account for my clients when I have money on behalf of them. So, like if I'm filing a trademark for my clients, and they give me money to pay for the application fee, I actually have to hold that in a trust account, which I do. That way, if I never file it, I have to give it back to them. Same thing that goes with credit repair companies. And I actually did not know this. They have to have a bond. So that basically like insurance, that if something goes wrong, you'll be able to pay that person back. But if you don't have that, then you have to keep their actual money in a trust account. And if you don't have either one of those, you cannot accept payment from them at all. And so this will really be detrimental to them because they were not only taking money from people, they took the money from people, then they lost all contact. So people couldn't call or email, or they could email them, but they weren't getting any responses. And then on top of that, they never did the services. So if they didn't have this bond and they didn't have a trust account and they were just taking the money from the consumers and then spending it, oh yeah, they're in trouble. They're not going to be able to prove that they didn't violate this if the attorney general knows about them not having these bonds or trust accounts in place. And so they're basically saying for the VIP plan, and even just to be charging somebody month by month and you're not even doing anything, then yeah, they are. I hope that they have this bond in place because that is not going to be good. All right, so we got Alpha. And how do we share this live? There should be a little share button on YouTube. It's like right under the, I'm sorry, I'm looking at YouTube right now. It's right under, are you on the app or are you on the internet? But there should be a share button that's like a little arrow, and you click on that and then you should be able to share it to, let's see. You can share it to WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, email. So just push the little arrow button and it says share underneath it. Thank you for sharing it. And I was putting shaking my head because there are a lot of people out there doing credit repair, guys. So be careful when hiring your credit repair people. Make sure they actually have the insurance for credit repair. And it says, yes, being a Black female Christian, my internet cookies definitely show me her IG. Yes, she was everywhere. Business profiles a few times. I have been aware of the Curl Bible scamming Black businesses for a while. And I don't think that the Curl Bible was actually named, but then again, I don't know if that's under a different LLC or if it's under these same LLCs. I would assume that it's under a different LLC because you generally do not want to combine different styles of business together. So if you're doing curl products, you don't, or like hair products, you don't want it to be under the same LLC as a financial situation, because let's say your curl products are making $1 million a year, but your financial company is only making $300,000 a year, and the financial company gets sued, and if it's all under one LLC, then they're taking all of that $1 million if that's the award. So you generally want to separate businesses that are unrelated. And I can see that they separated businesses that were related when they renamed the company or they canceled the company or however they ended up doing that. So yeah, a lot has been going on about them, and especially when they actually got sued, a lot of people were really happy that someone came after them because they're over here scamming the Black community and using it in Jesus' name. That's if that's not the most trifling thing I have ever heard of, it might be. I'm gonna scam you in the name of Jesus. That's what they said they were gonna do. Just Mars says, I'm surprised that the Curl Bible isn't a part of this yet. There's a whole IG of people scammed by the Curl Bible. Yeah, when I made my original video on this case, a lot of people said that they got scammed by the Curl Bible, and someone that I work with actually told me they also got scammed by the Curl Bible. I'm not too familiar with their products. Like I said, I just really started hearing about this couple maybe a year or so ago because I saw the husband on TikTok, and then this case came out, and I said, wow, I thought they were some pretty stand up business people. So I thought maybe that they wouldn't be doing things like that to people. And so yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to drop them in the chat box. I was waiting for my friend to jump onto this because she had some things to say about this case. We had been talking about it as far as like being good businesses and having your business in order to make sure that you're not doing this to your customer either on purpose, intentionally, or inadvertently. You don't want to do it even if it's an accident. Like they probably didn't know about having those bonds in place to be a credit repair company because I didn't know about that, but I've seen so many credit repair people pop up. And it could just because different states don't require certain requirements, but this one, even though it's under state statute, it seems kind of federal. And on top of that, a lot of states have the same statutes, just worded differently, and it's under their state's legislature. So if you guys are still watching, please make sure to hit the like button on this live so that it can get a little bit more reach. And yeah, I definitely appreciate everyone who sat in and listened to me talk for about an hour long. I'm not sure when my next live will be, but I do plan on doing lives a little bit more often and trying to keep up with more of these types of cases so that we're aware of what's going on with our celebrities and our influencers, to make sure that we don't end up getting scammed, and to make sure that we are not out here defaming any celebrities and getting $4 million like Cardi B did. Like I said, I don't know if I feel that sorry for Tasha K, especially since she said that she did it on purpose. But if anything else pops up on either of these two cases, you can probably catch me on live here. Like I said, please make sure to like this video. I am going to head out for the day, and hopefully I will be back later this week or maybe next week with some other news that's going on. Thank you.